Well, good morning, it's John Neal here, and it's oh, it's no good. Let's try somewhere else. Good morning, John Neal here. I'm so confused, all the traffic and the chaos, it's nuts. But there are 1 or 2 trains going by. Here's one now. It's Thursday, the 26th of January 2023, and I'm doing a fourth survey of the cycleways around Nuneaton. It's an added extra. Now, part of the trouble with the traffic around Nuneaton, and there's going to be a lot more of it because there are thousands of houses being built on particular sections of Nuneaton, and they need to go either into town and out again or cross over to go to their places of work and schools and so on. The only trouble is there's a few barriers in the way, and one is the railway. Big railway goes through Nuneaton. There are seven platforms on that station, and there's a lot of traffic can only go over there on that bridge. There are some other ways around, but that's the worst of it. But if I look at the cycleways around Nuneaton, and this is in 2 parts because this first one's supposed to be from this Weddington area of town across underneath the railway, as you can see here, but it's just a huge puddle at the moment. So this, I know this piece of cycleway is complete rubbish from here across to the bottom of Tuttle Hill. But the second part of what I want to look at is the canal, because the canal towpath has been turned into a fairly decent cycleway, and it runs all the way from Nuneaton right the way down to Bedworth. Not going all that way, but I'll just do the part that crosses Nuneaton and see what it looks like. Okay, but this bit of a joke really, to say this is an official, it's on the map, this is an official roadway which is for cycles as well as cars. Well, it's not even cars. I mean, it's just a joke. Look, come look. Well, not only is this a major rail route across here, which you've got to be encountered, but if you look the other way, I wouldn't call it particularly well looked after. In fact, it's a bit decrepit. There is some access here to some railway workings, which this pickup van's making at the moment. So this is the road. Got to make this way underneath this extra railway and onto the bottom of Tuttle Hill. Well, I suppose I'll just play some inspiring music to lift the mood, but what can you do? Look at it, it's just absolutely terrible. Oh dear, what you might call the wrong side of the tracks. Although from here on in up to the main road, it's a lot better than I remember it to be. Oh, there's a pothole to beat all potholes. Right, I'm approaching the bottom of Tuttle Hill. Now I've just got to get down off the road to the towpath down this quite steep slope. Here's a test for my brakes. Here we go. And they seem to be pretty good. Okay, this is the bit that I really want to look at, and this is the Coventry Canal, and it runs all the way from here at the bottom of Tuttle Hill down to, well, Bedworth and to Coventry, and it's a very good route for a cycleway, and it has been developed as such. So high hopes that this is going to be a better route than I had before. It does claim to be part of the National Cycle Network, but I should just say this much. From here down south, it's not too bad, but the other way, that's that way, to Atherstone, which is a fantastic route. You don't have to go up and down the hills. It avoids really difficult roads. This would be a great cycle route to Atherstone. and it's hopeless. The pathway is, I mean, it's just, imagine it's been tarmacked at some point, and then great chunks have been missing now. So it's very muddy, it's horrible, it's so difficult to ride. I've tried to do it a few times, but that way to Atherstone, hopeless. This way, down and across Nuneaton, should be a lot better. Mind you, the first sign's not good. They have these barriers, entrance barriers, to stop people coming through motorbikes and other things like that. And look at it. Doesn't look good really, does it? Oh, here we go. This project was part financed by European Union. European Union, what's that? We're not in it anymore. Well, you can't say that people who live by the waterways can't be amusing. Unauthorised vehicles will be clamped. Hilarious. And in fact, these quite pleasant houses have made a big effort to make the canal a feature of their gardens. Well, consider it's winter time, this surface is pretty good. Here's one of the many, that looks like a railway bridge.
Hey ho, hey ho.
Sometimes I'm just like a big kid. Or road bridge, difficult to know exactly where you are when you're going along the canal. This stretch of the canal is parallel to Greenmore Road, which is on my right, and I think we're going to have an encounter with some birds. And here you can see how the housing developers have tried to make the Waterside location a desirable element and probably done a good job. And you can see these entrance barriers look a bit better than the ones I first encountered, and I'm bowling along on this surface really quite nicely at about 12 miles an hour. Mind you, the electric bike, the E28 from Estali, is an absolute dream. I really enjoy it. Well, I'll pause where it's fairly quiet here. I've just got now down to Gypsy Lane, which is the full length of this little towpath route that I wanted next to the canal. Goes from Tuttle Hill right through Nuneaton and down to the far side of Nuneaton and off towards Bedworth. Not going down there now, been there before in the summer, and I know the pathway down there is pretty good. and this is okay too. Let's think of the advantages of being on the canal path. One, it's fairly level. Canals don't go up and down. Not that the electric bike has any trouble with the hills, it's brilliant for that. Secondly, if the surface is good, it's a lovely ride, and you're away from the traffic. There is no traffic. You just got to occasionally dodge dog walkers and other bikes and other cyclists, but that really isn't a problem. There's not many people around today because it's a bit cold and it's still midweek. The disadvantages are if the surface is poor, and in some places it is very poor, it can be extremely muddy. It can be virtually impassable on a bike, so it does need to be maintained. And secondly, thorns. The thorns for bikes are a bit of a real nuisance. It's littered with twigs from the cuttings from the hedges, and I've had 2 punctures on this bike in the first month, and the tyres are supposed to be puncture proof, but they're not. Clearly not. You can probably hear a machine over it. It's a huge crane. This is an area between Nuneaton and Bedworth where they are doing some building of more, I don't know what they are, the huge warehouses. There's a great big crane here. I think we better have a closer look. So I'll leave you with that. This is part 4. If you enjoyed this video, thank you very much, and by all means subscribe to this channel. There will be more stuff as the weather gets warmer, and do click like and all the rest of it. You know what you got to do. Okay, you'll see me next time. Bye bye.